Welcome to the Orange Flag podcast. Orange, like an SLS rocket, the new Kit Kat flavor we're developing, or Genesis's WEC livery. Or not. I'm Aries.
I'm Austin.
I'm Nicole. And yes, liveries. We have thoughts about them. Yes, your favorite topic, Aries, liveries. We have many a thought. Starting with Toyota and the fact that they have a red car now. I guess that's how they're planning on winning Le Mans this year, is, tricking the ACO into, red car good. But with them moving on to a red car from their black car, I do like that Genesis is filling the black car vacancy with the number 19 being the black car.
Yeah. The 19 of the two Genesis liveries is the one I like more. I like both of them. I just like how the white pops on the black of the 19. Like, for once, it feels like the 19 actually got something good. Because they've been kind of screwed over.
I actually think it just looks like a Toyota ripoff.
See, I think it goes with their ELMS LMP2 livery.
Yes, they made their ELMS LMP2 look like the Toyota ripoff, not the other way around, because last year their ELMS LMP2 had orange in it.
Yeah, which, the one thing I did think of with the ELMS thing, so IDEC, so PLC, who is the more Genesis driver of the bunch of IDEC drivers, is in the IDEC car that's not the one with all the Genesis stuff.
Yeah, because he's got the Genesis contract already. Yeah. Their other car is like their trajectory car, or whatever the heck that means.
I just think it's funny that he's like driving the one not with all the Genesis stuff on it, and then the other one has like all of the Genesis stuff on it.
I mean, I might be steering a bit of controversy, but in between the two Genesis cars, I actually have a preference for the Gunmetal 17, and it's not because of the driver lineup, it's because of looks.
The ripoff of the Mustang sampling 963 in IMSA.
So what are we saying?
Or as you, for some reason, decided to say IMSA on Twitter today.
Yes,
I was confused by that, my dude.
If we already need to deal with Kevin saying WEC, we do not need to also deal with you saying IMSA.
It's not allowed.
Wait until the YMCA parody comes out. I'm still gonna figure a way to write one. I don't know how, but I'm gonna make it. Yeah.
Amazing.
I'm trying to like.
What I was gonna say though,
your feet are gonna have to be an I. I don't know how that's gonna.
Basically, Genesis is ripping everybody off because the black car is a Toyota ripoff. The Gunmetal is ripping off the Mustang sampling livery, and their car appearance is kind of reminiscent of the rear end. At least, it's kind of reminiscent of a Ferrari. So they're just picking things at random and assembling something. I
mean, and most of their driver lineup is ripoffs from other teams too, so...
You got a point. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was...
Genesis, I really like the effort. It's fantastic.
We approve. The one thing I've seen, like, a lot of people talking about with this is, like, the disappointment that there's not orange, and all I have to say to this is, guys... McLaren's coming in a year, and you know that car is going to be orange. Genesis needs to establish...
Orange! You said orange! He said orange!
Yes, it's my
Well, at this point, it seems McLaren has gone away from the papaya, because the cars are neon.
Yeah, no, they're Scott Dixon orange. They're
not papaya anymore. So at this point, I can say orange, because they aren't even papaya. They're just neon. So by the time McLaren comes in next year,
so red with
they're going to be orange. Genesis needs their own identity, and you don't want to have to them change it in like a year.
That was my thought process, is they know that McLaren has the lockdown on the orange identity, and you don't want to have 4 orange cars bopping around the track, not being able to tell who is who. So you may as well just set, and Toyota has gone away from the matte dark color because they had announced their pretty red car already at this point. So it is a nice hole. I was joking at the beginning about them filling in for Toyota, but it is actually a nice gap they're filling livery-wise, like at least to the eye.
Yeah. You also, my thought process, it's two basically going to be brand new teams. Genesis will have one season, McLaren will be brand new. You don't want two brand new teams looking almost identical.
No,
when they're both trying to establish identities.
I'm curious, like, trackside at a glance, how much the Toyota and the Ferrari are going to look similar.
I think at least
I volunteer to observe that in 3 months.
Yes. You will be the first one to observe it.
Of us. But I will say at least the Toyota is a little bit more maroon, but how that's going to translate in person.
See, I don't know. I hate pictures. Like, I literally hate photographs of race cars because they never look like they do in the pictures. Like, can we discuss car number 7 from Sebring?
Oh.
Because that looked like, I don't know, like this red Solo Cup red in pictures, but it was neon red to the eye at the track.
It was almost more like a red-orange neon. Like it had, like, it wasn't like a true red.
Like, I thought it was almost like a dark pink. It did not look like this, like, red. Like, it wasn't PPM red. It was straight up, like, a different color. And it wasn't the red in the mobile design either. It was, like, just a different red. And,
it was like somebody was playing with, like, a color picker, and they just picked their favorite shade of red.
Hex codes.
Can't remember what red it was, but when I got my nails done, it ended up being the correct red, but I was kind of hedging my bets between a couple liveries, and it actually ended up being a red from a different livery that I thought, because I thought it could have been the one it was. I thought it could have been the 98 mobile one. Well, because that was the 96 or 97 mobile one that they actually did. And then the 98 mobile one was a little different. And then this is what it was. This red. It was the martini red, was the red. So this actually...
Yeah, it was almost more
over
martini
here,
red.
Kevin had. It was like this bright red, which here, if I hold these two up together, you can see like how different of a color that is. It's like a
it looks more
pink
orange
red as opposed to a red. You have to watch the YouTube video for my wonderful color references. But yes, that is the like third option red that I hedged my bets with, was martini, and it ended up being that red, which makes me wonder if they didn't have vinyl for a martini livery planned at some point and just were like, we're doing Mobile 1, let's use this vinyl.
And also, like, it didn't, like, the whole livery didn't quite have the same shade of red either. So,
yeah.
It was just interesting.
But back to what we were actually talking about, which was not Tiny Kevin helmet. I do think that Genesis is going to run the Magma or Orange or whatever the heck we're calling it for Le Mans. So, like, I do think we'll still see that car this year.
I hope so.
Yeah.
So everyone can, like, chill out.
It's interesting because, like, the die-casts that they're selling are that livery with the number 10 on it. So, like, not even their number.
Their racing numbers.
What is consistency? I fear that has been, I don't know, that was burned by the Magma, whatever. That
Next,
went away.
McLaren's going to be selling diecast with the number 7 on them because that's what they used for their announcements. So who knows?
Toyota would like a word with you.
Toyota wants to know your location for a serious talk.
Yeah.
Just saying, at this point, you never know.
Right.
But that wasn't the only livery that was announced. We had a GT livery announced from BMW because the 69 announced theirs, which is more so just the fact that every race it's going to be completely different.
I hate it.
Why?
I don't know what to say
Hate
about
it.
this. Honestly, I feel like it depends on what they do for each race, but it's a bit of like, won't that confuse people? Obviously, people are not that stupid. Obviously, they know it's the same car, but
They are.
it's like, what about having a consistent identity? Like, people are gonna be like, oh, why are they doing this every race? I like tributes, but this is taking a bit up to 11.
Also,
the irony in me saying that I hate it when there's like rumors left and right that PPM is going to run a different livery every race this year.
yeah. But for this one, it's interesting because Anthony usually on his cars is pretty consistent about running the same colors. And there's usually pink, and there's no pink in this one even at all in any
Well,
way.
BMW may have said no. Remember, Antares said that sometimes teams can be like, no, you're not doing what you want to do. Too bad, so sad.
Yeah, but
so maybe they decided they want to do this year.
I wanted pink car.
I'm honestly surprised they went for Tic Tac. Oh wait, Tic Tac. Yeah, Tic Tac. I have one, and it's orange.
Wait, okay, but those are the best Tic Tacs, and I will fight anyone who says the orange Tic Tacs are not the best Tic Tacs.
They are good. They are good.
Yes, they are.
Right. So it has come to the part of the season where we are going to be doing Dylan Estra propaganda all the time.
Oh dear.
He had his first couple of races this weekend in Carrera Cup France. Go Dylan.
Go Dylan.
I'm slightly upset with PPM for making Kevin go to California and test the 963 instead of doing NLS 3 because it robbed us of our who is better in a 911 on this given weekend, Kevin or Dylan opportunity. I don't know when we're going to get one of those opportunities, but like, hopefully. I want them to do Zolder together.
Yes. Yes.
Kevin, Dylan, please do Zolder together.
Please.
I mean, he's a silver rated driver. He's like very useful in random situations. So
Kevin,
like,
just use your brother.
Yes, please. Can we make this happen?
Yeah.
I feel like Kevin is not the one who gets to choose the lineup. He's the one that gets like shoved in the lineup last second because that's what happens when you're like the pro.
Yeah, but like we can find a way.
Yeah. We can totally find a way.
Yeah, the one thing I was going to be like, oh, they haven't changed the NLS car to not say Kevin on it. So then I could at least make the joke about that. But then they did end up fixing the car, and the car did end up saying Matt on it instead of Kevin. So I couldn't even make the joke that the car with Kevin's name on it and like results that way. But yeah, they ruined all my joke plans.
They did. Dylan did really well though.
Yes.
He got a top 10 overall. And like did really well in his rookie class, so that's exciting. We like to see Dylan doing well.
It's very important.
And then obviously Long Beach is this weekend. I am going. That's going to be fun.
Shocker.
Lauren Heinrich is also going because apparently he's like doing the whole season in multiple 963s. That came out of kind of nowhere.
Except
it's awesome.
Watkins. He's not doing Watkins.
Yeah, he is not doing Watkins, presumably because he's doing Spa 24 hours. But Lauren is doing basically a full season with JDC Miller. So that's amazing. I love that. He gets to drive a reasonably weighted 963 this weekend, as opposed to the land yachts that the 6 and the 7 are. The 5 is like
the heaviest object in the universe. The whole circuit's gonna be swallowed by a sinkhole because of how heavy those things are.
You know what? It's a good thing they're not racing in Florida, because we're very prone to those. So it's a good thing that they didn't do this for...
I mean, I'm worried they're gonna, like, trigger the San Andreas Fault or something.
I mean, they could. I'm just saying. Sinkhole's more prone in Florida.
Real talk about that, 1,100 kilograms is the heaviest a car under these regulations has ever been. By a massive margin, it is the heaviest under these current regulations that a GTP or hypercar can run. Pure weight. Not talking driver ballast, not talking with the driver in it, not talking with the fuel in it, but per the regulations, 70 kilograms is the most BOP ballast that can be added to a car. The minimum weight is 1030, so 1100 is the heaviest they can run. On the off chance that PPM goes out and 1-2s this race as well, what the heck does IMSA do? Like, is PPM gonna show up with, like, I don't know, the engine out of a Fiat 500 in it next race?
Yes.
Like, seriously, what are they, like, IMSA has backed themselves into this ridiculous corner by maxing them out on weight at this point in the season, because they either literally rewrite the regulations to make the car heavier, which at some point that becomes a safety hazard. You have a car that much heavier running around. It's not what the barriers are rated for. It's not what any of the crash structures in the car itself. If the car was designed, and you've got to assume plus fuel plus driver, right? But if the car is designed to have a maximum weight of X, and IMSA is mandating them over that maximum weight, I mean, at some point that does become a safety concern. So I guess, I mean, they're literally just going to have to cut the power until the cars can't win. Which, I mean, at that point, you've thrown the season. Truly. If you have a car that, because the way they show the BOP tables now, it's percentage. So if on, 1,100 kilograms and 92% power, they go out and win, and then next time they show up at 1,100 kilograms and 75% power, like, people are gonna start looking at that and being like, okay, IMSA is just, like, we needed to control PPM, but now IMSA is punishing them, is, it's like Ferrari in Brazil last year.
Yeah.
Everybody thought that was wrong. Even me, even people who don't support Ferrari were like, okay, this has swung too far the other way. Like, I think that was a pretty resounding, and then it evened back out for Coda and for Fuji, but, that's it. People are going to have the same issues that they had with WEC last year if PPM's able to overcome this. I mean, I don't know whether it's possible to overcome that much of a weight disadvantage. Everybody's saying, oh, they redesigned the car to be like Ferrari, to run heavy. I don't know. That's what everyone in our group chat is hypothesizing. But did they design it to run that heavy?
Yeah.
Running heavy is like 1075, not 1100. So, I don't know. That'll be very interesting to watch.
Yeah, I mean, when you take into account that they're running that heavy on a very tight street circuit, and they're gonna have tons of traffic to contend with, despite it being a 100-minute race. That's gonna turn some heads, assuming something happens.
Yeah. It's at that point, I don't know. I think IMSA just needs to say, here you go, you outsmarted us. Because I think that having them show up with 80% power or 75% power at Laguna looks worse.
Yeah.
Let everybody else run at 10:30.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, that's the thing, is you almost need to. The problem is that the only way for Aston to be competitive is minimum weight, maximum power. So if you bump everybody else down, if you kind of shift the whole bell curve over, Aston cannot be made any more powerful. So if you put Porsche at 1050, put everyone else at 1030, or put Porsche at 1060 and put everyone else at 1030, and kind of reset BOP, Aston is going to finish the race 5 laps down at Laguna. So that's where, like, and someone said, like, almost have, like, I saw someone say online, almost have like 107% rule from Formula One. Like, if Aston cannot keep up, sorry guys, but you get to finish 5 laps down, or we cannot include you in BOP. You're too far of an outlier.
Yeah.
Work on making your car better. Which I hate that.
I do.
Like, there is no good option. Aston is too far on one end, and Porsche is too far on the other end. So there's no way to have everybody meet in the middle. There just isn't. But if you look at last year's BOP tables versus this year's for Long Beach, the weights have gone up so astronomically. Like, just the average weight of the cars. So what are you going to do later in the season when you need to keep adding weight? We're going to end the season with everyone running 1,100 kilogram cars. And, you know, who has the least amount of power is what it's going to end up being. Like, they're going to take power and weight away from BOP, and it's just going to be power reductions, which is stupid.
Yeah, they kind of jumped, it feels like, too much too soon.
I still think what they should have done was not put them at like 1060, but put them at 1075, but cut them to 80% power.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I don't know. That could, for all I know, that could be worse. PPM, let us know if that would have been worse. But it just feels like it gives IMSA more to play with by doing it that way, rather than maxing the weight out on race 3. 3.
Yes. I will say
3 if we're from Europe.
Yeah. The one other thing I did think about
that
when
scene in Inglourious Bastards,
when Lauren's news came out, was like, I just got used to his name being next to the 7 on the broadcast streams. Now I'm gonna have to get used to looking for his name next to the 5, and then I'm gonna get confused again when he's back for Petite in the 7. My brain's not gonna be able to comprehend.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go buy a JDC hat at Long Beach. I told Lauren I was gonna do that. How mad do you think everyone would get if I showed up in this hat at Long Beach?
Someone stirring
Not
the
gonna
pot.
do it. Everybody knows that I'm bringing this hat, but how bad would it be
Catastrophic.
if I just rocked up in this?
Catastrophic.
So, a lot of talk right now is between Max Verstappen, Lance Stroll, both being in GT racing, and how they're being held to very different standards.
They should be held to different standards, is the thing. Max owns and has privately tested GT cars extensively. He does professional GT sim racing. Lance showed up with some friends in an Aston Martin GT car and did a race in a wildly competitive championship with the best GT racers on the planet. And during his stint at night, he was the 4th fastest car on track. So yes, Max and Lance should be held to different standards, but not in the way everybody is holding them to different standards.
Yeah. I just think a lot of people saw all the penalties that Lance's car got, which majority of them weren't even from Lance. They were from his teammates. And you are using that against Lance. When he actually did very well in his stint, considering he barely had any time in the car before showing up for this weekend. I've said it time and time again, his driving style is meant for more of an endurance racing. So
100%.
I think we kind of got to see that. And I'm excited to see how he keeps doing with more and more time in the car, because to me, you can't compare these two at all with how much more time Max has had in a GT car compared to Lance. It's night and day differences. So.
And one thing to point out about the penalties is you need to understand how penalties in GT World Challenge work.
Yes.
They are aggregate. So Lance got a 115-second penalty for track limits, but that's because track limits don't reset. So like his teammates got the 30, the 60, the 90, the whatever it was. Like, I don't remember the literal breakdown, but his teammates already racked up all the track limit penalties. So when he gets a single track limits violation, he gets a massive penalty for it. And then you've got drivers, every single driver in GT World Challenge is complaining about the blue flag rules.
Yeah.
So you kind of throw that penalty out too. Had Lance been the first driver in his car, had he started the race, I don't know that he would have gotten a single penalty.
Yeah.
So, the way his driving was, I do not know that he would have gotten a single penalty. He drove incredibly well. And that's not to say Max isn't driving well when he's driving, but Max also has competed against far less competitive grids than Lance. All the good GT drivers weren't there when, Max has been racing. Well, all the good GT drivers were there in Lance's race. Every single one of them, except for, the Porsche guys who were testing at Laguna Seca.
Yeah.
Somehow.
And I guess the guys that were doing ELMS. Because, Lauren wasn't there because he was doing ELMS. But, there was a legitimate field.
I don't even know if Lance has ever raced in a GT3 car before, because I remember he did the Rolex 24. He did the Rolex 24 in 2016 with Ganassi, by the way. But then he got in F1, and I don't remember him being anywhere close to racing in sports cars. If this was his GT3 debut, his night average was honestly pretty good.
And to make your debut in the dark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's saying something, man.
Yeah. Ballsy.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Is all I could think of. The second he did his interview and it was Lance will be doing nights, and I went, oh, well, that's a choice.
Honestly though, with the people that he was with, it's not really a choice. I think he's the only one that it makes sense for. Because it's not like he was in a pro car.
No.
Yes, they were but he was not with, high-level pros.
No. The high-level pros in Aston Martins managed to steal the win in the last 10 minutes.
Yes, they did.
That was entertaining.
Bad, final... hour and a half for people contracted to drive for Max Verstappen?
Yeah. Also,
his actual car with, his branding sank like a rock when Danny got in it. And that's not saying that Danny necessarily did anything wrong. The car just didn't seem like it wanted to turn the tires on at night.
No.
And then, which is kind of the same thing we saw Auer having the issue with. So it seems like it might be a Mercedes issue.
I think
but
so.
then Lucas Auer is also contracted to drive for Max at the Nürburgring. So it was like just not the greatest showing.
It was not. It also, I feel like it was the weekend of drivers getting sick, because apparently Loke was sick in his race that he did this weekend. And then Jules Gounon was sick.
Yeah.
So, like, it also just felt like the weekend of drivers being sick, too. Which isn't great.
Yeah. It was a very fun and exciting weekend for racing, though. I mean,
Yes.
ELMS had some of our guys in it. Lauren did not have very good luck because his car got annihilated. So he didn't finish all that well. But
my local
the car was driving around with like a piece hanging off like a little chicken wing.
My local commentators were like, how many, like, what did he do to piss everybody off? Because everybody's violating the 54. How many times did that car spin? 5? That's what it felt.
It got badly violated.
I lost count, to be honest with you.
Lauren's luck all is lying in the 963 this year, I guess.
His luck caught up with him. You know, he's had such good luck. It was time for his like bad luck to catch up with him, I guess. I don't know.
Balancing act.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, Lauren had not a great race. Tom Sargent had a great race because he won the class. And also just his last stint, especially like at the very end of his stint, was great. I feel like if you didn't know who he was, that stint,
you haven't been listening to the show.
You haven't been listening to the show, but like that stint a lot of people have been talking about, so like maybe you've heard about him now.
Right.
But also, that was his first win in Europe, because he hasn't really like raced much in Europe. So that was exciting too. The one thing I didn't know though was PitFit helped put this car together. And we really like PitFit, so
we do like PitFit.
Tom Sargent, the American, according to the broadcast and the graphics.
Yes. I mean,
yeah,
that happens in IMSA too. So...
Yeah, I don't know how he's getting confused as being an American, but
you know,
yeah,
he lives in America, but like he's not American.
Does he have a racing license here?
No.
Is that like, could he potentially be entered as an American in ELMS?
He's not.
Okay.
So I don't know.
Because people make up where they're from all the time looking at you, Julgunon.
Yeah.
Just saying. The man's French and sometimes decides to be Andorran. So...
Yeah, he also needs to pick one.
I mean, I kind of like what Jules does, because at least it gives a underrepresented country a bit of, hey, I exist.
So then just be Andorran.
Yeah, he needs to pick one, okay? He can't keep doing the flip-flop, okay? It's very annoying.
The flip-flop.
I'm sick of every race having to be like, what is Jules Gounon today? My enemy, no matter what. But besides that...
What is Jules What is Jules going to be today? I just imagine him waking up in the morning and having a wheel and spinning it and being like, yeah, I'm being this.
That's exactly what I was...
See, you know what I was thinking of? You know the game Guess Who? Guess Who,
yes.
But it's guess Jules' nationality today.
But he only has 2, and there's a lot of little flip downs in Guess Who.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of different versions of this. Is he Alpine French? Is he Alpine Andorran? Is he Mercedes French? Is he Mercedes Andorran? There's options here.
There are options. Yeah, I mean, on top of all of this, there's just GT World Challenge Asia, which somehow has like every good Porsche driver doing it. Like Alessio Picariello, Lauren Heinrich, Dorian Bacalacci, Alessandro Goretti, and Bastian Boos are all doing GT World Challenge Asia? What?
I mean, like, Dorian, we like assume that he's just gonna do that because but and at this point, I just assume Lauren just does everything.
He does. I thought maybe he'd chill out with that now that he's a works driver. Like, bro, you don't need to prove yourself to Porsche anymore. you got like the thing. Like, you are a works driver.
I don't know.
You
maybe
don't
he's
need
confused.
to drive every single series anymore.
He's confused. I don't know.
He is. Yeah.
But yeah. And then on top of all of that, we have PPM takes on Le Mans through LMP2 because Julian Andlauer got announced as doing it, and then
yeah, but Kevin got announced as doing it, which is actually the important part. Julian can go do whatever he's doing, but Kevin is doing Le Mans in LMP2 Pro-Am with TTS. So, like, sorry, Spike, but I have loyalties that are not you.
At this point, LMP2 is just becoming how many current and former PPM drivers can we have? Because you've got Dane. You've got
Julian. I was thinking this. Like it makes sense because Dane was once in car 7.
Yes, so he was.
They're gonna be rehashing their intra-team rivalry in different LMP2 Pro-Ams.
Right? At least Larry said he has no intention of doing LMP2 at Le Mans, so we don't need to worry about him. I don't know if anybody else from PPM is planning on rocking up in some LMP2, but
Matt Campbell,
yes,
welcome to LMP2.
I have sworn my undying love and support for the 2026 24 Hours of Le Mans to TDS. That is now my team.
Look, I'm just saying the ones left are Matt, and if for some reason Nasser, you just need to find LMP2 contracts. And then we can basically have everyone, because Larry just doesn't want to have fun. Fun killer.
PPM drivers just want to have fun. There we go, another parody. Anyway. Well, one of the main talking points revolving around the ELMS this weekend was not about on-track action. It was a couple of changes that were done to the way the series was broadcasted. Like up until last year, pretty much, I would say everyone, but almost everyone, because some people were geo-blocked, could turn up to YouTube and just get on the channel and watch it without. Some people use teleportation, otherwise known as VPNs, but that's not a problem. That's something easy to do, actually. Instead, for some reason, they decided to move away from YouTube, which in my opinion is never a good move. I mean, just look at GT World Challenge and IMSA, for that matter. Yeah, they essentially restricting everybody to use an app and only showing the first hour of the race on YouTube. And even still, I think from a whopping majority of the people we talked to, like the app didn't even exist. So talk about a sloppy introduction.
See if it exists yet.
Yeah, there's no app. It is a website. And I when it got announced, I was like, okay, for those of us that live in North America, like, this is good because we're no longer geo-blocked and having to use, like, VPNs and all of those things. But it's like they forgot that the season was starting and they should have launched the app. And forgot to do all their programming or something.
I don't see. It's supposed to be called FIA WEC Plus,
and there's
and
nothing.
I am not seeing any FIA WEC Plus in the Apple Store. So, are they gonna have this fixed by Imola this weekend?
We're literally
Like,
days away
what's
from
going on?
Yeah, I mean, like, how are we supposed to watch onboards? How are we, like, yes, online, cool, we can do that, but I'm going to be at Long Beach. I cannot bring a computer and, like, that website on the phone was draining my phone, so I had the little charger block on my phone, slow charging, and it was still draining battery. That's how battery intensive that app was. I've never had a situation other than, like, excessive heat where I'm actively charging my phone and it is losing battery. So, like, FIA ACO, fix that. It's unacceptable. You're a major sporting organization. Fix it.
Yeah.
I don't know who came up with this. Like, whoever thought this was a good idea. YouTube is right there, everybody. Even some stuff that was related to like other subjects that were not broadcasted there are being broadcasted there and draw a lot of views and a lot of attention. I don't know, maybe think a little.
It's just so frustrating because, like, they also they didn't broadcast qualifying
Yeah,
No.
for ELMS.
exactly.
I'm just not confident at all that there's gonna be, like, a functioning website for Imola this weekend. I really am not. And they didn't even have a good, like, dry run for it. Because I saw online there were 670 average viewers on the ELMS thingy app slash website slash whatever, versus it was like a general season running average of between 2,500 and 3,000 last year. So you lost your entire freaking audience. The three of us are in a group chat that is 200 people. So, like, 3 of our group chat is the size of the entire freaking ELMS audience. Like, guys, you had a massive in-person audience. Record in-person audience. I'm sure people at home would have liked to watch the race. They just didn't know how, because you have been promoting this app that doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't want to brag, but obviously I had 2 ELMS streams running essentially, like different YouTube channels, different
Nice.
local YouTube channels broadcasting it. One of them was at 5. I don't remember how many people were watching it live at the time. Like, the stream right now has like 59,000 people watched it. Obviously, today's Monday. So, and I don't know, like,
Right.
if it counts people dipping out of it and coming back in, maybe. But by the time the race was over, there were like 5,000 likes. So, yeah,
Dang.
that says a lot.
Yeah. People are excited about ELMS, and they I don't know. Guess they just can't watch it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Solution is move. Everybody should move. Learn Portuguese. Move here. That's all.
Right?
Yes.
Cursive Spanish.
But now to NLS 3, mainly just because I need to talk about it, no other reasons. Because Matt did NLS 3. Despite the fact that he didn't have a Grello suit, his name wasn't on the car until the last minute. he only had his PPM gear.
Yeah, there was, like, he was in the background of an interview that Changuven was doing, and you could see he had his PPM polo on. And I'm like, Matt, I love PPM as well, but I also really love the Grello, so, like, maybe, like, get Manti to give you some stuff. Like,
Yeah.
does he not have, like, an extra leftover suit from, like, when he was in the Grello at Bathurst? Like, at least he could have had something that, like, said Manti and, like, had the colors and such on it.
No, because also Manti posted, like, before the race, like, Guven and all of them chatting, and Matt was in his PPM vest. So, like, it's like he brought all of his PPM gear and nothing else. And I was like, all of the Manti guys were in their Manti gear, so it was like, could have just, like, taken it off one of them.
Right?
Just something.
No, he was inspired by 2025 Daytona Julian and Lauer.
That's all I could think about.
I'm gonna wear my PPM stuff because I can and no one has told me not to. Like, go off, Julian, but, like, that was the first race he did for signing his Works contract. Matt has been a Works driver the whole time. He doesn't need to show people that he's with PPM. We know you're with PPM, Matt.
He's like, I have been, I'm no longer full season. I'm now the endurance guy, so maybe people don't know I drive for PPM, and so I need to remind them.
Maybe.
I don't know. But,
yeah.
Yeah.
Matt was replacement Kevin, because, at the beginning of the weekend, Kevin's name was still on the car.
Mm-hmm.
Like, all the way right up until the race, every picture they were posting still had Kevin's name on the car.
Yes.
I don't know if it was like they just realized overnight they were like, crap, we should probably put Matt's name on the car. But, I mean, he was a good replacement Kevin, because the best Kevin did last year in any round at the Nürburgring was also second. So, good job, Matt, being a strong replacement Kevin.
Yes.
Replacement
Great job.
Kevin. Replacement Kevin service.
Well, so I told both Julian and Larry last year at Petite that they were replacement Kevin, so, like, let's just have a collection of replacement Kevins. That seems fun.
Yeah. I will say, he is now going to drive at qualifiers, and at least for that announcement, they did an updated photo and not, like, his most recent Grello photo like they were using before.
Yeah.
So, we're getting 2028 news, and that's that GP will be at McLaren no later than 2028, but possibly sooner than 2028. I feel like this is all contingent on a certain someone.
Well, no. I think that he can't join McLaren any sooner. I think that the news reports got it wrong. I think that he can't join McLaren any sooner than 2028 because he's going to be on gardening leave for 2027. I think that GP, Jean-Pierre Lambiase, who is Max Verstappen's race engineer, is confirmed to be leaving Red Bull at some point. I think that him and Max both leave Red Bull at the end of this year. I think he goes on gardening leave for the entirety of 2027. There are a few positions in Formula One that require that kind of gardening leave, and race engineer is one of them, without a doubt.
The thing is,
he knows everything about Red Bull and the way it works. They have to stick him on a massive gardening leave.
Yeah. He's also, I can't remember the exact title of what he's getting at McLaren, but it's some very complicated title. That
the director of racing or something.
Something, yeah. But it's... Zach Brown says it's a position they've always had, but Andrea Stella has been doing that role on top
in addition
of
to being
being
team
principal. I don't know.
I think it's like what Tony Kanaan did on the IndyCar side prior to actually being team principal.
Yeah.
Honestly. Like, I think it's that guy.
Yeah.
Like, the driver pep talk guy.
Yeah.
Which, as we know, GP is really good at that.
No, he is. So like
great selection.
Good selection. I'm excited by this news because GP is good at what he does. But the whole, like, we have this position and always have, but not really. It's very confusing.
Yeah, but that's McLaren for you.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, that is McLaren. Zach Brown makes up positions every day.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, here's a thing that you didn't know existed. And we've always had that within whatever McLaren team I am talking about at the moment, because I have a lot of them. But I've seen, since this news came out, I have seen more and more F1 outlets with varying degrees of legitimacy start putting Arvid Lindblad into that second seat next to Isaac Hadjar. So I do think that Max is out at the end of the year. I don't know. I mean, he seems to really like owning a sports car team. Like, he literally may not race full time next year and just do the cool one-off races that he can. I mean, Mercedes runs in everything. He can do Daytona. He can do Nürburgring. He can do Spa. He can do all the cool GT races. You know, let's throw Max Verstappen into Macau, please.
Imagine the scenes.
Give me that, please. Like, that's the stuff I want to see Max do if he quits Formula One. I want him to go out, and I think that's what Max wants to do. I think he wants to go out and have fun, and by owning his own team, he can. Yeah. Right? Like, he can enter that car in whatever the heck he wants, and I love that. Like, I absolutely love that. Do I support the guy? No. Do I like Mercedes? No. You know, Max, you and I have similar opinions on Maro Engel. Cool. But, like... overall, I love that Max is just gonna potentially go out and do whatever he wants because, hey, I can, and hey, I own a race car team.
And sometimes he will show up just to, supervise that you're not using too many tires this time.
Yeah.
He was watching all the pit stops this weekend.
He only showed up for the final stint.
Yeah, but he was
hiding in the motorhome the entire time at that race and showed up for the last 90 minutes. Okay. I was disappointed in that. I was hoping he was going to be in the garage the whole race. I don't know, maybe he was trying to avoid the food poisoning.
Maybe.
That would make sense.
But
Max, smart of you if you were trying to avoid the food poisoning.
Food poisoning, yeah. But for the time he was in the garage, he was watching those pit stops to make sure tires. I feel like
if you're in a garage, you watch pit stops.
Yes, but you really gotta, make sure you don't use too many tires.
Who forgot completely to record any pit stops they saw when they were in a garage? That would be me. But, to be fair, Larry's back was in the way. So,
Larry just really likes getting in the way of video.
I could have, held my phone up over Larry's head to record the pit stop.
No,
it was qualifying. They did one pit stop. It's not like I missed, an abundance of pit stops, but I also had no idea when Kevin was coming in for a pit stop because I didn't have headphones. So I was just kind of, watching the little screen and, trying not to freak out, because you know what the little screen showed? Kevin's on board, and we all know how I feel about Kevin's on boards.
You really don't like it.
Thanks for listening. You can find us on Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram at Orange Flag Pod. Nicole is at Nicole on Racing, Austin is at Austin Trackside, and Aries is at Aries_Alpenglow. stay orange.